Excuse me, you're in the wrong seat. Marcus Chen's fingers never stopped typing. The merger documents on his screen held $4 billion in limbo. Sir, I'm talking to you. Patricia Morrison's voice carried across first class intentionally. This is a premium cabin. The emphasis on premium made several passengers shift uncomfortably. A phone appeared in 2B, camera app opening. Patricia leaned closer, her perfume aggressive. Let me help you find your actual seat. Economy starts at row 20. Marcus finally looked up. His calm was unsettling. Patricia's hand hovered near his laptop, trembling between reaching and retreating. These real-life stories of discrimination usually end in silence. These black stories, these touching stories, rarely find justice. But sometimes, just sometimes, life stories take unexpected turns. Have you ever witnessed someone commit career suicide without realizing they're holding the knife? Keep watching. 11:48 a.m. Dallas. Fort Worth International Airport. American Airlines Flight 447 should have departed 3 minutes ago. The delay wasn't weather or mechanical. It was happening in Seat 2A. Patricia Morrison had been a flight attendant for 15 years. She prided herself on maintaining standards in premium cabins. That's what she called it in performance reviews, maintaining standards. Her supervisor, Roger Henley, called it exceptional customer service. HR had another term they couldn't prove. Marcus Chen sat reviewing quarterly projections on his laptop. Bytecore Technologies' EBITDA showed 40% growth. The acquisition terms were aggressive but fair. $4.7 billion in total consideration. His phone vibrated. Rebecca Chen, Chief Legal Officer. Board meeting in 90 minutes. Need your final position. He typed, delayed. Interesting situation developing. Need intervention? Not yet. Documenting. Patricia circled back, her Chanel number, 5 preceding her like a warning. She'd already passed 3 times, each orbit tighter than the last. Now she stopped, blocking the aisle. Roger, we have a situation. Her voice carried intentionally to the galley. 2A needs your attention. Roger Henley approached with practiced diplomacy, 20 years of experience, countless passenger mediations. His expression shifted when he saw Marcus, that universal micro-expression of surprise, followed by calculation. Marcus had seen it 1,000 times in boardrooms, the math of prejudice. Good morning, sir. How can I help you today? Marcus saved his spreadsheet. No help needed. Everything's perfect. Miss, Morrison suggests there might be some confusion about your booking. Roger's tone stayed neutral, but his positioning allied with Patricia. They formed a subtle barrier between Marcus and the rest of first class. From 2B, Tom Harrison's phone captured everything. Investment banker, Yale MBA, recognized discrimination's choreography. His stream title, First Class Problems, This is Wild. Comments starting, why they bothering him? He's literally just sitting there. Betty White energy from the flight attendant. Viewers, 347 and climbing. Could you show us your boarding pass again? Patricia asked. Volume calculated for maximum audience. Sometimes our system makes errors with upgrades. Marcus displayed his phone. Concierge key status glowed on screen. American Airlines invitation-only tier for top spenders. Patricia's eyes narrowed, dismissive. These can be faked, she announced to Roger, abandoning discretion. We've had problems with fraudulent upgrades recently. I haven't seen any alerts, Roger replied carefully, sensing something off, but trusting 15 years of partnership. Captain James Reynolds emerged from the cockpit. 6'3", Former Air Force, silver temples suggesting authority. Patricia had summoned him via intercom, potential security issue in 2A. He surveyed the scene. Well-dressed black man, 2 crew members, multiple phones recording. Folks, we need to resolve this quickly. We're already behind schedule. This gentleman, Patricia stressed the word like profanity, claims valid first-class booking but won't cooperate with verification. The woman in 3A, Dr. Sarah Kim, started recording. Pediatric surgeon at Presbyterian, she recognized the pattern. Excuse me, he's been sitting quietly since boarding. What exactly needs verifying? Patricia wheeled on her. Ma'am, please don't interfere with crew operations. I'm documenting what appears to be discrimination. That's not interference. Marcus remained silent, observing. His phone buzzed. Unknown number, ignored. Then another. Then his assistant. Reporters calling about Bytecore. Should I hold them? Yes, tell them announcement delayed 15 minutes. Captain Reynolds noticed the exchanges. Sir, who are you texting? My office. What kind of office? The kind that's waiting for me to finalize a significant transaction. Patricia laughed, sharp and dismissive. Everyone's important when they're in trouble. I'm not in trouble, Marcus replied calmly. You are. The cabin atmosphere shifted. Roger touched Patricia's elbow, a warning she ignored. Is that a threat? Captain Reynolds straightened. It's an observation. You're being live-streamed to... Marcus glanced at Tom's phone. 12,000 viewers. Dr. Kim is recording. The gentleman in 4B has been filming since you arrived. Your airline's reputation is experiencing real-time damage. Tom's stream exploded. 12K watching. At American Air, you seeing this? Stock price gonna tank. Who is this guy? Captain Reynolds made a decision. Sir, I'm giving you one opportunity. Move to economy while we verify your booking, or security will remove you. Captain, Dr. Kim interjected, I'm a witness that this man has done nothing warranting removal. Ma'am, interfering with crew instructions is a federal offense. Recording discrimination is a federal right, she countered. Marcus checked his watch. 11:54 a.m. Captain Reynolds, he said clearly, ensuring every phone captured it. Are you formally stating, as pilot in command, that you're ordering me to change seats without cause? Crew discretion is the cause. Based on what observation? Silence. Patricia filled it. We don't need to explain ourselves. Marcus nodded slowly. You're right. You don't. But in 6 minutes, you'll wish you had. His laptop screen showed an email from Bloomberg. Ready to break Bytecore acquisition story. Confirming Marcus Chen Holdings acquiring major stake American Airlines Group. Please verify. He typed, hold for 10 minutes. Marcus Chen? Tom Harrison said aloud, reading comments. Wait, the Marcus Chen? Tech Vault Holdings? The captain heard the recognition, hesitated. Patricia didn't. I don't care if he's Marcus Zuckerberg. Rules are rules. Ma'am, a passenger from 4B called out. Marcus Chen is worth $4 billion. Patricia's smirk widened. Then he can afford an economy seat. Marcus closed his laptop. His father, James Chen, had stood in American Airlines headquarters in 1987. Perfect test scores. Fighter pilot credentials. Rejected 3 times. The letters said, not the right fit, but meant something else. 37 years later, his son sat in first class of the same airline, about to reveal why he'd spent 2 years planning this moment. His phone buzzed. Marcus, Bloomberg needs confirmation now. He typed 3 words. Start the clock. Tom's live stream title updated. Is this Marcus Chen? Viewers, 24,847. The cabin held its breath. 11:55 a.m., the point of no return. Security to Gate D24. Security to Gate D24. The intercom made first class collectively inhale. Patricia Morrison had actually done it, called security, on a passenger who'd been sitting quietly for 32 minutes. 2 TSA officers entered through the jet bridge, their routine posture shifting to confusion as they surveyed the scene. Officer Martinez, 17 years on the job, had responded to everything from medical emergencies to attempted hijackings. This looked like neither. "What's the situation?" Martinez asked Captain Reynolds directly. "Passenger refusing crew instructions," Patricia interrupted. "Potential security threat." Martinez studied Marcus' pressed suit, closed laptop, hands visible on armrests. Then the phones recording from every angle. His partner, Officer Kim, already looked uncomfortable. "Sir, can you explain what's happening?" "I'm sitting in my assigned seat," Marcus replied evenly. "I've been asked to move to economy without cause. I've declined." "Has he made any threats?" Kim asked, notebook out. "He said I was in trouble," Patricia responded quickly. "I said you were being live-streamed to thousands of viewers documenting potential discrimination." "That's not a threat. It's observable fact." Tom Harrison panned his phone across the cabin. 38,000 watching now, officers, and climbing. Martinez's jaw tightened. Whatever this was, it was above his pay grade. "Sir, would you consider moving temporarily, just to de-escalate?" "Officer Martinez," Marcus read his badge, "would you ask a white passenger to move to accommodate discrimination?" The question hung in recycled air. Martinez, Hispanic himself, understood the weight of it. "We're not asking anyone to do anything yet," Kim said diplomatically. "We're assessing." From 3A Doctor, Sarah Kim stood. "Officers, I'm Doctor." Kim from Presbyterian, "I've witnessed everything. This man has been completely professional. The only escalation has come from crew." "Ma'am, please sit," Captain Reynolds ordered. "I'm standing as a witness." "That's my right." An older woman in 5A spoke without standing. "Young man, I don't know who you are, but I know harassment when I see it. My late husband dealt with this his entire career." "Everyone calm down," Martinez said, sensing mob dynamics. "No one's under arrest." "We're just talking." Patricia's composure cracked. "Why are you listening to them? I'm crew. My word should be enough." "Your word about what?" Marcus asked. "What specific violation have I committed?" Silence. Tom's stream exploded with real-time commentary. "She can't say it. TSA knows this is BS. Who is this guy, though? The composure is unreal. American Airlines stock dropping check Yahoo. Viewers, 52,341. Marcus's phone buzzed. Rebecca Chen texting. Board demanding update. Journal holding story for your confirmation. He typed, 3 more minutes. Captain Reynolds noticed the exchange. "Who are you texting now?" "My chief legal officer. We're coordinating response to this incident." "What kind of response?" "The kind that involves significant financial implications for American Airlines." Patricia laughed, sharp and dismissive. "Oh, please. Everyone threatens to sue." "I don't sue," Marcus said quietly. "I acquire." The cabin processed that. Tom zoomed on Marcus's face, calm, calculating, patient. From 4B, a voice. "Excuse me, I'm David Park, attorney. I'm documenting this interaction. Officers, removing this passenger without probable cause opens you to personal liability under Section 1983. Kim lowered his notebook. We're not removing anyone. Then why are you here? Marcus asked. We were called. For what crime? Martinez shifted uncomfortably. Disruption. Who's being disruptive? The passenger sitting quietly, or the crew creating a scene? Patricia stepped between officers and Marcus. He's trespassing. On whose determination? Park asked from 4B. He has valid tickets. You haven't proven otherwise. I don't need to prove anything. Crew discretion. Discretion isn't discrimination, Doctor, Kim added. And we're all witnessing discrimination. Captain Reynolds's radio crackled. Flight 447, you're now 18 minutes delayed. Status? Resolving passenger issue, 5 more minutes. Negative. You have 7 minutes before losing your slot. Next window is 2 hours. The captain's face flushed. 2-hour delay meant crew timeout, missed connections, 40,000 in costs minimum. He turned to Marcus. Sir, I'm ordering you one last time. Move or be removed. Captain Reynolds, Marcus said clearly, ensuring every phone captured it. I'm going to ask you something on record. Are you ordering me to move because I'm black? The cabin went tomb silent. That's ridiculous, Reynolds sputtered. Then what's your reason? Crew discretion. Based on what behavior? Refusing instructions. Which instruction? To give up the seat I paid for? That's not a safety instruction. That's discrimination. 11:58 a.m. Marcus's phone rang. Unknown number with a 682 area code, Fort Worth. He answered on speaker. Mr. Chen, this is Jonathan Hayes from the Wall Street Journal. Can you confirm the Bloomberg report about your acquisition? Every head snapped toward Marcus. Which report? Marcus asked calmly. The one saying you're acquiring a major stake in American Airlines. It's causing market movement. Patricia's face drained of color. I'll confirm in 90 seconds, Marcus said, and hung up. Tom's camera captured Patricia's expression perfectly. The moment recognition began dawning. His stream title updated. Wait, is this Marcus Chen the billionaire? Comments detonated. Check Forbes. Marcus Chen tech mogul. No way. American Airlines is done. Viewers, 89,743. Patricia grabbed Marcus's armrest. Not his phone, not him, just the armrest, her knuckles white. You're lying. Patricia Morrison, Marcus said gently, employee ID 447291. 3 complaints for passenger discomfort. 2 for inappropriate comments. 2 sealed by legal. Would you like me to continue? Her hand released the armrest like it burned. How do you... The same way I know Captain Reynolds has 2 prior complaints. The same way I know this plane costs American Airlines $1,800 per minute of delay. Captain Reynolds stepped back. Who are you? Marcus looked at his watch. 11:59 a.m. In about 60 seconds, I'll be your largest shareholder. Officer Martinez holstered his notebook. We're done here. This is a civil matter. Officers, Patricia pleaded, you can't leave. Ma'am, no crime has been committed by anyone except possibly you. The TSA officers retreated toward the jet bridge. Patricia followed, desperate, while Captain Reynolds stood frozen. Marcus opened his laptop. An email from Bloomberg waited. Urgent. Confirm acquisition for market disclosure. He turned the screen toward Tom's camera, letting $40 million of American Airlines stock certificates speak for themselves. The plane erupted, not in chaos, in recognition. Tom Harrison whispered into his stream, "Ladies and gentlemen, Marcus Chen just bought American Airlines. Viewers, 147,293. 12 p.m. The countdown was over. The revelation was about to begin. 12 p.m. The revelation. Marcus Chen's laptop screen glowed with a number that would change everything. $4,728 million. The Bloomberg terminal showed his position 31% of American Airlines Group, acquired through 17 shell companies over 24 months. But first, a story needed telling. "Patricia," Marcus's voice carried across the silent cabin, "do you know why I chose American Airlines?" She stood frozen by the cockpit door, her training and prejudice warring on her face. "In 1987, my father, James Chen, applied to become a commercial pilot. Top of his Air Force Academy class. Flew F-16s in combat. Perfect safety record. Test scores in the 99th percentile." Marcus pulled out a faded photograph, his father in Air Force dress blues, wings pristine. American Airlines rejected him 3 times. The letters said, "cultural fit concerns." But I found the real reason in discovery documents from a 1994 discrimination lawsuit. Internal memo, February 1987. Asian pilots may disturb passenger comfort on flagship routes. Tom Harrison's stream captured every word. Comments flooded. They said, "What? 1987 wasn't that long ago. This is personal. Sue them into bankruptcy." Viewers, 198,447. Captain Reynolds interjected, "That's ancient history." "Is it?" Marcus opened a folder on his laptop. American Airlines discrimination complaints. 2019, 234 cases. 2020, 312. 2021, 457. 2022, 523. 2023, 601. 2024, 719. He turned the screen toward the cameras. Exponential growth, 47 million in settlements, 700 million in brand damage from viral incidents. His phone buzzed. Doug Parker calling for the 4th time. Marcus answered on speaker. "Marcus, I just saw the Bloomberg alert. We need to discuss ... Doug, I'm currently on flight 447, experiencing firsthand why your market cap is about to crater." Dead silence. "Your what?" "Which flight?" "The one where Patricia Morrison and Captain Reynolds are attempting to remove me from first class for existing while black." "Christ, put Reynolds on." The captain grabbed the phone with trembling hands. "Mr. Parker, there's been a misunderstanding." "Captain, I'm looking at a live stream with 200,000 viewers watching you discriminate against our largest individual shareholder. What exactly is the misunderstanding?" Marcus took the phone back. "Doug, let me explain your situation. I own 31% of AAG. Vanguard owns 12%, and I golf with their CEO. BlackRock owns 8%. I'm on their advisory board. Together, we control 51%. Parker's breathing audibly quickened. That's a controlling coalition." "Correct, which means in exactly 5 minutes, one of 2 things happens. Either you implement my reforms, or I call my friends at Vanguard and BlackRock, and we vote to replace the entire board at an emergency meeting." "Marcus, be reasonable." "I am being reasonable. Patricia Morrison has 7 documented complaints. You kept her flying. Captain Reynolds has 3. Still flying. Your discrimination settlements exceed the GDP of small nations. That's not reasonable." Marcus stood, addressing the cabin and live stream simultaneously. I didn't buy American Airlines for profit. The acquisition cost me $200 million in banking fees alone. I bought it for James Chen, who died believing America had no place for him in the cockpit. He pulled up another document. This is the Chen Protocol. Every American Airlines employee will undergo VR-based bias interruption training. AI will monitor all complaints in real time. 3 strikes trigger automatic termination. Independent advocates on every flight. Full transparency reports published quarterly. Doug Parker's voice cracked. That would cost hundreds of millions. $740 million, by my analysis. Roughly what discrimination has cost you in brand damage. The board will do exactly what I tell them. Marcus pulled up his phone, showing texts from institutional investors. Vanguard's CEO just confirmed. BlackRock agrees. State Street is interested. Your board works for shareholders, Doug. As of this morning, I am the shareholders. Patricia found her voice. You can't just buy a company to fire people. I can. I have. And it's not just firing. Marcus turned to her. Patricia Morrison, employee ID 447291. Your discrimination pattern shows statistical significance at the less than 0.001 level. That's not bias, that's systematic targeting. He pulled up her employment record. Interesting fact, 93% of your complaints involve Black or Hispanic passengers. Random chance? The probability is 1 in 7 billion. The cabin gasped. Dr. Kim from 3. A whispered, That's impossible, unless it's intentional. It is intentional, Marcus confirmed. My AI analyzed seating changes, service patterns, complaint frequencies. Patricia, you've cost American Airlines $3.2 million in settlements and lost customers. His laptop chimed. Email from the Wall Street Journal. Confirming Chen Protocol to be industry standard. Marcus responded by typing, Yes. American Airlines is the beginning, not the end. Tom's stream exploded. 3.2 million? Math doesn't lie. Patricia is done. This man came with receipts. Viewers, 287,923. Captain Reynolds attempted damage control. Mr. Chen, surely we can resolve this without accountability? Marcus pulled up Reynolds's record. 3 complaints, all involving minority passengers. Your rejection rate for upgrade requests correlates with passenger ethnicity at ER equals 0.89. That's not coincidence. That's discrimination. Marcus's phone rang. Rebecca Chen. Marcus, the acquisition is public. Stock market is reacting. How much are we down? American Airlines dropped 6% in 40 seconds. But Marcus, yours went up 12%. The cabin heard every word. Marcus's company's Tech Vault Holdings, Chen Innovations, Vector Dynamics were surging on news of his activist acquisition. The market loves corporate justice, Rebecca continued. 3 pension funds just called. They want to co-invest in your next target. Marcus smiled. Tell them Delta discriminated against my mother in 2019. United harassed my sister in 2021. I have a list. Doug Parker's voice returned, defeated. What do you want, Marcus? Implementation vote. Now, board meeting in 3 minutes. I can't convene a board that fast. I already did. Marcus opened his laptop, showing a Zoom link. Emergency shareholder meeting, per Section 3.2 of your bylaws. 51% of shareholders can override standard notice requirements. He clicked the link. 12 board member faces appeared on screen, all looking confused and concerned. Ladies and gentlemen, Marcus addressed them, his voice carrying through first class and to 341,439 live stream viewers. I'm Marcus Chen. I own 31% of your company. In coalition with Vanguard and BlackRock, I control 51%. You have two options. He shared his screen, showing the Chen protocol. Option 1. Implement these reforms immediately. Option 2. I dump my shares at market open, triggering a 30% price collapse, and you all face shareholder lawsuits for failing your fiduciary duty. Board member Jennifer Walsh spoke first. Mr. Chen, this is highly irregular. So is discrimination. Yet it's happened on your aircraft 3,847 documented times in 5 years. These reforms would fundamentally change our operations. That's the point. Marcus looked directly at Patricia. Change or die? Corporate Darwinism. Discrimination is a luxury you can no longer afford. The board whispered among themselves. Marcus waited, patient as a hunter. Finally, board chairman William Hayes spoke. Mr. Chen, if we agree to your terms, will you commit to holding your shares for at least 1 year? 2 years, Marcus countered, if Patricia Morrison and Captain Reynolds are terminated within the hour. We can't termination employees without due process. You can suspend pending investigation. Given the live-streamed evidence, termination will follow. Doug Parker reappeared on the call. Marcus, please. These are people's livelihoods. So was my father's. Marcus's voice hardened. He died flying cargo planes at half the salary he deserved because your airline decided his face didn't fit your brand. Patricia and Reynolds made that same decision today. They chose wrong. The board voted. 11-1. The Chen protocol passed. Patricia Morrison collapsed into a jump seat, her career evaporating in real time. Captain Reynolds removed his wings, hands shaking. Marcus closed his laptop and looked at the cabin filled with witnesses. Ladies and gentlemen, you've just witnessed the beginning of a new era. Discrimination isn't just wrong, it's expensive, and I'm going to make it bankruptingly so. The plane erupted, applause from economy, stunned silence from first class, and 341,439 people watching history unfold live. Marcus Chen had bought American Airlines, but more importantly, he'd bought justice. 12:08 p.m. The digital boardroom war. Marcus Chen's laptop screen split into 12 windows in American Airlines' board of directors, each calling from different locations, all looking like they'd been ambushed by reality. Flight 447's first-class cabin had become an amphitheater where corporate justice would be served to 341,439 witnesses. Let's be clear about the power dynamics, Marcus began, adjusting his laptop camera. I control 31%. Vanguard has 12%. I'm having dinner with their CEO tomorrow. BlackRock has 8%. We co-invest in 3 ventures. Together, that's 51%. You work for us now. Jennifer Walsh, lead independent director, maintained her composure. Mr. Chen, hostile takeovers require more than just share percentages. This isn't hostile, it's necessary. Marcus shared his screen. American Airlines Discrimination Index, proprietary analysis by my team. A heat map appeared showing complaint concentrations. Dallas hub glowed red. Chicago burned orange. Los Angeles flickered yellow. Every dot represents a documented incident. The red zones? Those are Patricia Morrison's routes. Board member Robert Martinez leaned forward. This visualization could be misleading. The data doesn't lie. Marcus clicked through. Regression analysis, controlling for route, time, passenger demographics. Patricia's complaint rate is 847% above airline average. That's not variance. That's pattern. From the cockpit doorway, Patricia's voice cracked. Those analytics mean nothing. Customer service is subjective. Marcus pulled up audio files. Let me play objective evidence. A recording filled the cabin, Patricia's own voice from 3 months ago, captured by a passenger. Sir, are you sure you're in the right cabin? This is first class, not first come, first served. Another recording. Ma'am, your upgrade seems to be a system error. Perhaps you'd be more comfortable with your own kind in economy. Tom Harrison's stream exploded with reactions. Her own kind? She really said that out loud. Prison. Now, how was she still employed? Viewers, 412,338. Doug Parker's square enlarged on screen. Mr. Chen, those recordings weren't submitted through proper channels because your channels bury them. Marcus pulled up internal documents. HR complaint, HC 2019-0847, HC 2021-923, HC 2021-4451. All regarding Patricia. All marked resolved with coaching. No coaching documented. Board member David Kim interrupted. How did you obtain internal HR files? Discovery from Gonzalez v. American Airlines 2022, public record. Your legal team fought to seal these. They failed. Sandra Thompson, the longest-serving board member, unmuted herself. Mr. Chen, what specifically are you demanding? Marcus pulled up a precise document. The Chen Protocol, 5 pillars. He clicked through. 1. Immediate suspension of employees with statistical discrimination patterns. Patricia Morrison, Captain Reynolds, and 17 others my analysis identified. 2. AI-powered interaction monitoring, not surveillance pattern recognition. Flag problems before they become lawsuits. 3. Monthly transparency reports, every discrimination complaint public, with resolution status. 4. Third-party oversight board with termination authority. No more internal investigations of friends. 5. Victim compensation fund. 50 million initial funding, replenished annually. Charles Foster, the board's most conservative member, shook his head. This is corporate surrender to mob justice. No! Marcus's voice cut sharp. This is corporate evolution. Discrimination is a luxury you can't afford anymore. He pulled up another screen stock price in real time, down 11% since the live stream started. Every minute we debate, you lose millions in market cap. Every viewer Tom gains, you lose customer trust. Every second Patricia remains employed, you lose moral authority. Board Chairman William Hayes raised a hand. Mr. Chen, implementing your protocol would require union negotiations. Marcus clicked to his email. Transport Workers Union Statement, received 4 minutes ago. 2WU supports removal of members who damage our collective reputation through discriminatory actions. How did they? They're watching Tom's stream, like everyone else. Marcus gestured to Tom, still filming. Tell them the count. 457,000 viewers, Tom announced. Nearly 500,000 people watching American Airlines board decide between evolution and extinction. Jennifer Walsh spoke carefully. Mr. Chen, if we implement your protocol, what's your commitment? I hold my shares for minimum 2 years. I publicly endorse American as the industry leader in passenger equality. Stock recovers by Monday close. And if we don't? Marcus pulled up his trading platform. I have sell orders staged. 31% at market price. That triggers panic selling. Stock drops 40%. Every institutional investor bails. You get acquired by competitors for parts. He paused, letting the threat settle. But that's not the worst part. The worst part is my next acquisition, Delta, or United. Whoever wants to be the anti-discrimination airline, I'll give them the Chen Protocol for free. They'll eat your market share while you're in litigation. Patricia suddenly lunged forward. You can't destroy careers over political correctness. Patricia, Marcus turned to face her directly. I'm not destroying your career. You destroyed it yourself, one passenger at a time. I'm just the accountant, tallying the damage. He pulled up one final document. Performance Review, Patricia Morrison, 2019. Manager notes. Patricia maintains high standards. Subtext was clear. Those standards were about passenger appearance, not service quality. Doug Parker's face looked gray. The board needs to vote. Then vote, Marcus said simply. Publicly. The world is watching. Jennifer Walsh straightened. I move to implement the Chen Protocol, effective immediately, with suspension of named employees pending investigation. Second, Sandra Thompson said quickly. Discussion? Hayes asked. Robert Martinez spoke. I want on record, this is unprecedented. A shareholder forcing operational changes through public pressure, .. Unprecedented problems require unprecedented solutions, Marcus interrupted. My father applied to American Airlines 3 times. Rejected for cultural fit. That was code for race. 40 years later, Patricia uses the same code. Nothing changed because you never had reason to change. Now you do. All in favor? Hayes called. 10 hands raised immediately. Martinez reluctantly raised his. Foster held out. Motion carries 11-1. Foster unmuted himself. I want my dissent recorded. This is corporate blackmail. No, Marcus corrected. Blackmail implies threatening to reveal secrets. I'm revealing facts. Your discrimination has been visible for decades. You just never faced consequences. He pulled up another image, his father in his cargo pilot uniform, standing by a FedEx plane. James Chen flew packages instead of passengers because American Airlines decided his face didn't match their brand. Today, his son owns enough of your company to rebrand it entirely. Mr. Chen, Jennifer Walsh said quietly, would you consider joining our board? The cabin gasped. Even Tom's stream went momentarily silent. Marcus smiled, the first genuine smile since boarding. No, board members provide oversight. I prefer ownership, more efficient. He closed his laptop and stood, addressing both cabin and camera. American Airlines just became the first major carrier to implement algorithmic discrimination prevention. Not because they wanted to, because they had to. Every airline watching you're next. Captain Reynolds stepped forward. Mr. Chen, I'll resign. Effective immediately. No legal challenge. Marcus studied him. Resignation accepted. Patricia? She stood defiant. I'll sue. Wrongful termination. Defamation. Hostile takeover. Sue. Marcus pulled out his phone. I have 17 law firms on retainer. Bring your best. The board meeting ended. Doug Parker's final words. Mr. Chen, we'll begin implementation Monday. You'll begin implementation now, or Monday's opening bell becomes a funeral bell. Understood. Marcus looked at the cabin full of witnesses. Ladies and gentlemen, you've just watched discrimination become too expensive to sustain. Thank you for your patience. Applause erupted. Economy, first class, even the crew who weren't being terminated. Tom's final stream count for this segment: 1,293 viewers. The corporate showdown was over. The reconstruction could begin. 12:23 p.m. The reckoning flight. 447's cabin doors opened, but nobody moved. 247 passengers understood they weren't just witnesses, they were evidence. Their phones held history. Marcus Chen stood in the aisle as Patricia Morrison was escorted past him by security. She stopped, unable to resist one final word. You've destroyed a 15-year career over nothing. No, Marcus replied quietly. You destroyed it over everything. Every person you made feel less than human. Every dream you crushed with your prejudice. I just documented it. Her company iPad began pinging HR remote, wiping her access in real time. Email, gone. Employee portal, locked. 15 years deleted in 15 seconds. Doug Parker's voice came through the intercom. This is CEO Doug Parker. What occurred today represents systemic failure. Effective immediately, American Airlines implements the Chen Protocol. Every employee, starting with me, undergoes bias assessment within 72 hours. From economy, a voice called, "What about compensation?" Marcus pulled up his laptop. "Doug, they're asking about the restitution fund." $50 million, Parker confirmed. Independent administration. Claims open Monday. Not enough, Marcus said loudly enough for all to hear. Make it 100 million. 50 from American Airlines, 50 from executive bonus clawbacks over the past 5 years. Silence on the intercom. Then, Mr. Chen, that's your personal wealth grew while discrimination flourished under your watch. Consider it retroactive accountability. A woman in economy began clapping slowly. Others joined. The applause built until the entire plane thundered with it. 3 American Airlines executives appeared at the Jet Bridge Chief People Officer Martha Higgins, Chief Customer Officer Robert Drake, Chief Legal Officer Jennifer Stevens. They'd monitored the live stream from headquarters, racing to DFW for damage control. Mr. Chen, Higgins began, sweat visible despite December cold, we're implementing your protocol immediately. You're implementing it because you have no choice. Marcus pulled up her employment record. Martha Higgins, 4 years as CPO. Discrimination complaints increased 41%. Your response? Quote, statistical anomaly, no action required. She paled. Context matters. Context is standing right there. Marcus pointed to where Patricia had been. You had 7 complaints about her. You promoted her to lead trainer for customer service. Tom Harrison's stream captured everything. Comments flooded. Promoted after complaints? CPO needs to go too. Systemic rot from top down. Fire them all. Viewers, 623,847. Robert Drake stepped forward. Mr. Chen, we're prepared to offer you a board position. I don't want a position. I want positions filled by people who've faced what Patricia did to passengers. Marcus turned to the cabin. Dr. Kim, you intervened when others stayed silent. Would you consider joining American's new passenger advocacy board? Dr. Sarah Kim stood, surprised. Yes, absolutely. Tom Harrison, your live stream provided evidence when American would have buried this. Would you join? Tom nearly dropped his phone. Wait, seriously? Dead serious. Real oversight requires people who've witnessed discrimination, not executives who enabled it. Marcus's phone buzzed. Rebecca Chen texting. Media requesting statements. CNN, NBC, FOX, everyone. He responded publicly. No media. The story tells itself through Tom's stream. Then, addressing the cabin, every passenger on this flight gets their ticket refunded. Not as compensation, as appreciation for bearing witness. Doug Parker's voice returned. Mr. Chen, that's $250,000. That's accountability arithmetic. Patricia cost you millions in settlements. This costs you thousands in prevention. A young black boy, maybe 12, raised his hand from row 23. Mr. Chen, my mom says you're rich. Why do you care about this? Marcus walked back to economy, kneeling in the aisle. What's your name? Jerome. Jerome, money is just leverage. Power without purpose is pointless. My dad died thinking America didn't have room for him. Today proved it does. We just had to buy our way in. Jerome's mother spoke up. We've flown American 20 times. First time anyone stood up for us. It won't be the last. Marcus returned to first class, pulling up his laptop. I'm establishing the Chen Foundation for Corporate Justice. $1 billion endowment. Free legal support for discrimination victims. Any company, any industry. His phone showed incoming texts from Fortune 500 CEOs, all variations of, "We need to talk about implementing Chen protocol proactively." Marcus ignored them all, except one from his assistant. Sir, American Airlines stock recovering. Up 3% since Parker's announcement. He showed the screen to Tom's stream. The market rewards justice when justice has teeth. As the new crew boarded, Captain Sandra Williams, a black woman with 20 years' experience, took the intercom. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Captain Williams. I'll be flying you to New York. Mr. Chen, thank you for making this possible. I've been passed over for promotion 7 times. Today, that ends. The cabin erupted again. Marcus simply nodded. At 12:47 p.m., Flight 447 pushed back from the gate. 47 minutes late, but carrying revolution in its cargo. Marcus opened a new document on his laptop. The Chen Protocol, Implementation Manual. First paragraph. Discrimination thrives in darkness. Data is light. This manual weaponizes transparency against prejudice. Tom ended his stream at 674,892 viewers with one final pan across the cabin. Every color, every class, all heading to the same destination. Patricia Morrison sat in the terminal, watching her career end through Twitter trends. Hashtag Chen Protocol. Hashtag American Airlines. Justice. Hashtag discrimination. Costs millions. Her phone rang. A reporter. Then another. Then 50 more. She'd become the face of why change was necessary. Meanwhile, Marcus Chen sat in 2A, finally opening the Bytecore acquisition documents. $4.7 billion had bought more than an airline stake. It had bought justice. And justice, properly leveraged, was priceless. 3 weeks later, December 28, 2024. The video of Flight 447 had 847 million views across platforms. Marcus Chen never spoke publicly about it. He didn't need to. The aftermath spoke volumes. Patricia Morrison's final day at American Airlines was documented by her own colleagues. Security footage leaked. Her keycard failing, Company iPhone deactivating mid-call. 15 years of employment ending in a cardboard box. She now stocks shelves at Target in Fort Worth. Her LinkedIn profile deleted after death threats. Every training video at every airline uses her case study. How discrimination costs everything. Captain Reynolds teaches at a community college for $31,000 annually, a quarter of his airline salary. His wife filed for divorce, citing moral differences. His son, a pilot for Southwest, publicly disowned him. But the real story was in the data. American Airlines' transformation was mathematical poetry. First week, 2,847 employees failed implicit bias testing, triggering mandatory retraining. Second week, 17 terminations for historical violations discovered through AI analysis. Third week, customer satisfaction hit 94% highest in aviation history. The Chen protocol spread faster than COVID once had. Delta CEO called emergency board meeting after losing 3% market share in 10 days. United's announcement came at midnight, desperate to stop hemorrhaging customers. Within 17 days, every U.S. carrier had adopted some version. Tom Harrison turned down Netflix, Hulu, and HBO offers for his footage. Instead, he released it copyright-free. Some things shouldn't be monetized, he told his 4.2 million followers. Fortune 500 companies now pay him $50,000 per day to audit customer interactions. Dr. Sarah Kim's first passenger advocacy board meeting was live-streamed. She opened with, "Discrimination is a disease. We're the cure. Let's begin surgery." Body cameras became mandatory within 72 hours. The financial markets delivered their verdict. American Airlines hit $47 per share, a 5-year high. Companies implementing Chen protocol saw average stock increases of 12%. Discrimination had officially become bad business. Marcus visited his father's grave on Christmas Eve, alone. He placed a model airplane on the headstone American Airlines Flight 447. "You never got to fly their planes, Dad, so I bought the company. Not for revenge, for every James Chen who deserved better." The Bytecore acquisition revolutionized everything. Their AI now screened customer service interactions in real time, flagging discrimination before it escalated. Prejudice became predictable, preventable, profitable to eliminate. 3 months later, healthcare was next. Marcus had quietly acquired 28% of HCA Healthcare after his mother faced discrimination at one of their hospitals. The Chen protocol was coming for medical bias, then banking, then education, then housing. This touching story isn't just about one flight. These real-life stories of discrimination happen daily. These black stories and life stories of systemic prejudice need your voice. Comment below. Share your discrimination experience. Name the company. Document everything. Share this video, not for entertainment, for evidence. Every share creates accountability. Subscribe. Follow which industry gets Chen protocol next. Be part of the revolution. Patricia Morrison thought she was maintaining standards. She was maintaining oppression. The difference cost her everything. Next time you witness discrimination, remember, you have a phone. You have a voice. You have Tom Harrison's example. Record. Report. Revolution. What's your Flight 447 moment?